Very good morning. So, you're all fine and doing well. So, what is our current topic? Refraction of light. Then, what we have dealt in that concept till now? Yes, when it comes to that, what is meant by refraction of light? And how do the light refracts at an interface? If a light is refracting at an interface, then what is the value of angle of incidence and how to calculate the angle of deviation and how to decide the angle of refraction. At the same time, when the light is refracting from one medium to another medium, what about the ability of the material medium to deviate the light ray from its actual path? It all can be explained according to refractive index of a material medium. And you know that usually denser media will have greater refractive index compared to the rarer medium. And the refractive index of any material medium should be greater than 1. Where refractive index of air is equal to 1. This is what you need to remember. Because the reason I told you, no material medium can have the speed of light more than 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. So speed of light is maximum in air. No other material exists apart from that. So refractive index of the material medium should be least, which is 1. So any other material medium should have the refractive index greater than 1. Because the refractive index of a material medium will be inversely proportional to speed of light in that medium. This is all what we have discussed. After that, we have dealt a very important numerical concept, which is Snell's law, which explains the product of refractive index of a material medium and the sine of the angle of incidence in that material medium is always a constant when light is refracting at an interface. Of course, from that, when light is refracting from one medium to another medium at an angle of incidence I and at an angle of refraction R, according to Snell's law, sin I by sin R should be always constant. Means, if the angle of incidence in one medium is going to increase, the angle of refraction in another medium should increase because Snell's law concept. Sin I by sin R constant in the sense, it means the angle of incidence in one medium, the angle of refraction in another medium varies directly proportional to each other. So that I proportional to R keeping sin I by sin R equal to constant. Of course, later on we have discussed about the different visual effects due to the phenomena of refraction and the related numerical analysis we have discussed. Now, connecting with this concept, we are going to discuss a little more regarding the refraction at plane surfaces, because to introduce to you the concepts of refraction and the properties of refraction, we have taken a single plane surface, which is the interface between the two media. That is nothing but refraction at a single plane surface. After dealing in detail regarding this, we can handle refraction through double plane surfaces. We can handle refraction through spherical surfaces. Anything can be handled. That is the reason why we have initiated our topic on dealing with refraction at plane surfaces and the other areas. Now here, you have learned, if the angle of incidence in one medium increases, the angle of refraction in another medium gradually increases. Just for example, here AB is an interface between the two media. In this situation, here it is, just for example, here it is, let us suppose this is rarer medium and this is denser medium. First medium is rarer, second medium is denser. Now here, this is point of incidence, here is the normal, and a light ray falls at an angle of 30 degrees. Then it refracts at some angle. Let us suppose the angle of refraction is R1. Now The same light ray, but this time is falling at this point at an angle 40 degrees. Means angle of incidence has been increased. Then it refracts towards the normal still, but here angle of refraction changes to R2, so that R2 greater than R1, since I2 greater than I1. This is the point what you need to understand. As the angle of incidence in one medium increases, the angle of refraction in another medium also increases, according to Snell's law. Sir, like that, to what extent I can increase the angle of incidence in rarer medium in that way? Yes, coming to the point. The maximum possible angle of incidence in rarer medium can be 90 degrees. Means your incident light ray, look at this point. Look at this point. Suppose this is P and this is Q. PQ is the incident light ray in rarer medium, which is grazing the interface. Here let me identify. Then it refracts at some angle which is the maximum possible angle of refraction, since this is a maximum possible angle of incidence. You may get the doubt, sir, when you are speaking of maximum possible angle of incidence, then what is minimum possible angle of incidence? Yes, you have learned. If the light ray falls normal to the interface, it goes straight without any deviation with I equal to 0 and R equal to 0. We'll explain about the concept of minimum angle of incidence. So that minimum angle of refraction. But when the light is traveling from denser medium to rarer medium to denser medium, to what maximum angle of incidence you can increase? Yes, my angle of incidence in rarer medium can be increased up to 90 degrees. Then what about the angle of refraction, which is a maximum? If you wish to calculate, you can apply Snell's law. Refractive index of rarer medium into sin 90 degrees, angle of incidence here, equal to refractive index of denser medium, here denser medium, this is, and sine of the angle of refraction, which is a maximum. Sin 90 degrees 1, you know this. So NR by ND is equal to sin R maximum. So from this equation, this is sin of R. Sin of R equal to NR by ND. So if these values are known, you can calculate a maximum angle of refraction. So I am concluding. When the light ray is traveling from rarer medium to denser medium, here I am writing. When a light ray is traveling from rarer medium to denser medium, the minimum possible angle of incidence is 0, where the angle of refraction in denser medium 0. The maximum possible angle of incidence is 90 degrees. We call it as grazing incidence. I repeat, grazing incidence. Here it is a normal incidence with I equal to 0. Now here at I max, R is max, which is given by this equation. Sin of R equal to NR by ND. Of course, you can write R max equal to sin inverse of NR by ND. The related mathematics, you have an idea. This is the situation when the light is traveling from rarer medium to denser medium. Now, I think one question has to run our mind. Sir, you have explained all the situation where the light traveling from rarer to denser. If my light is traveling from denser to rarer? Yes, exactly. Your doubt. If your light is going from denser medium to rarer medium, means reversing the direction of light. Whenever you are reversing the direction of incident light, then automatically you can come across principle of reversibility. Means if the light falls at an angle R1 in denser medium, it refracts into rarer medium at 30 degrees. If the light falls in denser medium at an angle R2, hope you are following principle of reversibility. The light is falling, the light is incidenting in denser medium at an angle R2, then it refracts into rarer medium at an angle 40. If that is the case, the maximum possible angle of incidence in denser medium will be having a definite value, which is less than 90. What you need to understand. Principle of reversibility. Light falls in denser medium at an angle R1, refracts into rarer at 30. Light falls in denser medium at an angle R2, refracts into rarer medium at an angle 40. Now light can fall in denser medium at a maximum angle which is less than 90. See, whenever light ray is traveling from rarer medium to denser medium, the maximum possible angle of incidence is 90. But if our light ray is traveling from denser medium to rarer medium, the maximum possible angle of incidence will be less than 90, which is here. For that maximum possible angle of incidence, then your refracted light ray will graze the interface. So let me explain to you in detail. Here, my incident light is going to travel from denser to rarer. My incident light ray. Here is the interface AD. But this time my light ray traveling from denser to rarer. For your understanding, I am giving even the ray diagram. Here, just suppose your light falls at some angle. Suppose, just for example, some 20 degrees. Then it refracts at some angle away from normal, R1. Now you increase the angle of incidence to 35 degrees. Yes. Then it refracts away from the normal at an angle of refraction R2. Of course, R2 greater than R1, no doubt, because the angle of incidence increased, the angle of refraction has to increase. In that way, to what maximum angle of incidence you can increase? Yes, coming to that point. So in this way, you can increase the angle of incidence in denser medium to a particular value for which the angle of refraction becomes 90 degrees. This is Imax. This Imax will be less than 90. That is what I am telling. This you can understand on saying this. So the maximum possible angle of incidence in denser medium will be less than 90, and at that maximum possible angle of incidence, angle of refraction in rarer medium will be 90 degrees. So that Imax in denser medium, when I is max in denser medium, then R equal to 90 in rarer medium. Then you may come across the doubt. Sir, if my light falls in denser medium, and traveling to rarer medium, but it falls at an angle of incidence greater than that maximum possible angle of incidence, then your light do not refract into that, it reflects completely. Whatever the incident light completely gets back into this same denser medium, and the phenomena is defined as total internal reflection, which is TIR. So actually my intention is to introduce you the concept of total internal reflection, shortly known as TIR. This is my intention to introduce to you. But when this happens, when the light ray traveling from denser medium to rarer medium, if the light falls in denser medium at an angle of incidence greater than maximum possible angle of incidence. But every time we can't say like this, maximum possible angle of incidence, maximum possible angle of incidence. That is the reason why for this maximum possible angle of incidence in denser medium, we have given a name which is critical angle of incidence. That maximum possible angle of incidence in denser medium is known as critical angle of incidence. So I repeat, when the light ray traveling from denser medium to rarer medium, if the light falls in denser medium at an angle greater than critical angle of incidence, means I greater than C, then your entire incident light will will reflect into the same denser medium. The phenomena of light is known as total internal reflection. So to discuss the total internal reflection, some terms and conditions are required. First condition, light has to travel from denser medium to rarer medium, and the light should fall in denser medium at an angle of incidence greater than critical angle of incidence. So if the light falls in denser medium at critical angle of incidence, then angle of refraction in rarer medium will be 90 degrees, which is called grazing emergence. This is called grazing emergence. If you look at this clearly, for I equal to C, R equal to 90, which is grazing emergence. Now principle of reversibility you deal principle of reversibility, grazing incidence, then emergence will be like this. That means if you come back to this point, this R maximum is nothing but critical angle of incidence. When the light falls in rarer medium at maximum angle of incidence 90 degrees, then light refracts into denser medium, which is R max I told you, that is C. Because when light falls in denser medium at C, at I equal to C, then R equal to 90. Now here I equal to 90, then R equal to C. This is what the interesting concepts of physics which can't be avoided. So our topic is all now about total internal reflection. Hope you have got the basic concept of total internal reflection. Now we are going to discuss in detail a little more the concept of TIR. This is the basic introduction to TIR.
So here is a small activity to go through total internal reflection. A semicircular glass slab is placed on the paper and a light is allowed to travel through it. See here, you should identify the path of light while it is coming out from glass to air. Don't look at the path where it enters from air to glass. Look at the path of light on the other side where it is emerging out on the other side from glass to air. So as the angle of incidence in glass is increasing, the angle of refraction in air while emerging out increasing. See, at one particular angle of incidence in glass, your refracted light ray will emerge. Now here is total internal reflection. Once look at the situation. The light falling in glass, reflecting back into the same medium without emerging out into air. This is what the phenomena of total internal reflection while a light is traveling from denser medium to rarer medium. You look at the path of light which incidents in glass at a glass air interface. This is TIR, total internal reflection for I greater than C in denser medium. So here you can see the diagrammatic representation on total internal reflection. So that is what you are seeing, a glass slab which acts as a denser medium. So usually when the light is traveling from denser to rarer, that is from glass to air, we know it refracts away from the normal. Of course, a part of light can reflect because you have learned in the introduction of optics already. Whenever light is falling on a surface, a part of light can be transmitted, a part of light can be reflected, a part of light can be absorbed. So according to that, you are seeing the light traveling from denser to rarer. So most of the light will be refracted as it is transparent. But if you see the third case, when the light falls at an angle of critical angle of incidence, I equal to IC, then the refracted light ray is grazing the interface for which R equal to 90 degrees in rarer medium. So that particular angle of incidence in denser medium for which the angle of refraction in rarer medium is 90 degrees is called critical angle of incidence. But once the angle of incidence in denser medium like a glass greater than the critical angle of incidence, then entire light gets reflected back into the same medium, which is the phenomena of total internal reflection. So here are the conditions to be satisfied for total internal reflection. As I told you, the light should travel from denser medium to rarer medium, and the angle of incidence in denser medium should be greater than critical angle of incidence. This is TIR.
So let us discuss in detail about the concept of total internal reflection. So whenever you are dealing with the total internal reflection, the first point you need to understand, when the light is traveling from denser medium to rarer medium, if it falls at an angle of incidence called critical angle, then the angle of refraction in rarer medium will be 90 degrees. In this situation, when the light is traveling from denser to rarer, let me tell you little mathematical analysis. The minimum possible angle of incidence is 0, for which angle of refraction is 0, implies angle of deviation will be 0. But the maximum possible angle of incidence in denser medium is C, for which angle of refraction in rarer medium is 90 degrees, implies denser to rarer, so R greater than I. That's why angle of deviation is R minus I, which is 90 minus C. So when the light is traveling from denser medium to rarer medium, this is minimum possible angle of deviation, and here is maximum possible angle of deviation. Of course, if it falls at an angle I greater than C, look at this, I greater than C, you know it reflects while traveling from denser medium to rarer medium. Then angle of refraction holds good, means angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. Then in that case, angle of deviation will be 180 minus 2i. You learnt already the concept of reflection. This is when TIR takes place. But earlier to that, when it is traveling from denser to rarer. Apart from this, little more. If you are going to apply Snell's law at I equal to C, in this situation, if you are going to apply Snell's law, when at I equal to C, you apply Snell's law, then equation, refractive index of a denser medium, hope you are saying, refractive index of denser medium into sin I equal to C equal to, here refractive index of rarer medium into sin R equal to 90, because I equal to C, R equal to 90. Then ND into sin C equal to NR, because 90 degrees equal to 1. This implies sin C equal to NR by ND. But I have told you already, usually we have a common notation, N is refractive index of a denser medium with respect to rarer medium. We have a common notation. Then sin C equal to NR by ND. I think I can write it as 1 by N, where N equal to ND by NR, but here NR by ND. So I can write sin C equal to 1 by N, or N equal to 1 by sin C. Is the conclusion. So what is C? Yes, C stands for critical angle of incidence in denser medium with respect to rarer medium. This is very important terminology. C, critical angle of incidence. Okay, but very important to remember, critical angle of incidence in denser medium with respect to rarer medium. Sir, why you are highlighting with respect to rarer medium? Yes, because sin C equal to 1 by N, where N is refractive index of a denser medium with respect to rarer medium. Many people will not identify that. N is refractive index of a denser medium with respect to rarer medium. It is a relative refractive index. It is not absolute refractive index of denser medium. It is a relative refractive index of a denser medium with respect to rarer medium. So if the rarer medium is going to change, automatically this relative refractive index changes. Automatically critical angle of incidence changes. For example, you are dealing with TIR concept when light traveling from glass to air. Glass is a denser medium, air is a rarer medium. So you are dealing with the TIR when light going from glass to air. Then critical angle of incidence in glass C, sin C equal to 1 by n dr, means refractive index of glass with respect to air. But if the same phenomena you are dealing when your light is traveling from glass to water, glass is a denser medium compared to water. Water is a rarer medium then. You know the concept of denser medium and rarer medium. Now refractive index of glass with respect to water. Then this equation gives critical angle of incidence in glass with respect to water. Is different from critical angle of incidence in glass with respect to air. Because this relative refractive index is going to change. So that is the reason why while reading C critical angle of incidence in denser medium with respect to rarer medium. N refractive index of denser medium with respect to rarer medium. Relative refractive index. So this is the basic concept connecting with critical angle of incidence with refractive index, which is the basic formula that you need to remember while dealing with numerical applications on total internal reflection. The first point that you need to remember. Still, we do discuss in detail what are the different areas in total internal reflection. Now let us continue a little more about the concept of TIR. Here what the mathematics you have learned, we are all dealing with the objective orientation connecting with the TIR concept. Later we will get into little more theoretical analysis also. So here sin C equal to 1 by n, where C is critical angle of incidence in denser medium with respect to the rarer medium, and here n is refractive index of denser medium with respect to rarer medium. It means, for example, your light is traveling from glass to water. First let me take an example, glass to air, first example. Then sin C, C for critical angle of incidence in glass with respect to air equal to 1 by n, n for refractive index of glass with respect to air. You know the absolute refractive index of glass with respect to air is 3 by 2. So that sin C equal to 2 by 3. This is what you need to understand. Of course, when sin C equal to 2 by 3, as per trigonometric values, C equal to 42 degrees. Means critical angle of incidence in glass with respect to air is 42 degrees. Means when the light is traveling from glass to air, glass is a denser medium, air is a rarer medium comparatively. If the light falls in glass at an angle 43 degrees, then TIR takes place. 42.5 TIR takes place. Sir, no sir. My light is going to travel from water to air. Water is a denser, air is a rarer, so I can come across the concept of total internal reflection. Then our equation is sin C equal to 1 by n, where C is critical angle of incidence in water with respect to air, n is refractive index of water with respect to air. Then you know refractive index of water with respect to air is 4 by 3. Then sin C equal to 3 by 4, for which C equal to 49 degrees. Critical angle of incidence in water with respect to air is 49 degrees. So this is how the critical angle of incidence in denser medium with respect to rarer medium depends on the pair of media. What pair of media exists over there, whether glass-air combination or water-air combination or glass-water combination. If the denser medium is glass and rarer medium is water and your light is traveling, then Then sin C, critical angle of incidence in glass with respect to water is 1 by refractive index of glass with respect to water. You know, refractive index of glass with respect to water in the denominator, it means Ng by Nw. You have learnt relative refractive index. That's all physics interconnected always. The first class we dealt with relative refractive index. So sin C equal to 1 by Ng by Nw. Refractive index of glass 3 by 2 and water is 4 by 3. It is 9 by 8. Now a reciprocal anyway, it is 8 by 9. So that critical angle of incidence in glass with respect to water, it is all about 63 degrees. Actually, it is easy to remember these values, which are the multiples of 7. 42, 49, 63. But order you should remember. Glass to air, water to air, glass to water. Glass to air, water to air, glass to water. 42, 49, 63. Of course, it's not compulsory to by heart those values. Just better to remember. That's it. So from all this, what I wish to conclude here it is, when a light ray traveling from denser medium to rarer medium on dealing with the total internal reflection, critical angle of incidence in denser medium depends on the pair of media. This is very important. This is the point. So, to say clearly, we are dealing with the factors that can influence the critical angle of incidence in denser medium, which do not remain same, varies according to the pair. See, here I said, here, critical angle of incidence in glass is 42. But here I have told the critical angle of incidence in glass is 63. Why? Here glass, here also glass. Why? Because here glass to air combination, here glass to water combination. So the pair of medium is going to be changing. So that critical angle of incidence in glass has changed. So critical angle of incidence in a particular medium depends on the pair of medium whatever you have taken. This is what you need to understand. Now, see here, whenever you are dealing with all this analysis, what you need to remember here it is, whatever your light ray traveling from denser medium to rarer medium, whatever is your light ray traveling from denser medium to rarer medium should be a monochromatic light. Monochromatic light means you have learnt already light of single wavelength is known as monochromatic light. A light consisting of a particular unique wavelength is called a monochromatic light. If the wavelength is going to be changing, refractive index is going to change. When the refractive index changes, then critical angle has to change. So remember, this is all explained only when a monochromatic light is traveling. For example, just for example, here a counter example I am telling. This is AB interface, denser medium, rarer medium, denser medium example glass, rarer medium example air. What is critical angle of incidence in glass with respect to air? 42 degrees. Now, here this is red color light falling. Red. Here is violet light falling. So what is this particular example? Your light is traveling from glass to air. But one is red color, the other one is violet color. Then you may ask me, sir, do the critical angle of incidence in glass with respect to air remain 42 either for red color or for violet color? No. Sir, what sir? The pair of medium is not changing. For red color, pair of medium is glass, air. For violet color also pair of medium is glass and air only. But still the critical angle of incidence is not same for red and violet color. The reason it is, wavelength of red color is more than wavelength of violet color. So here I am writing here, wavelength of red color is more than wavelength of violet color. Then automatically refractive index of red color will be less than refractive index for violet color. Because you have learned in the earlier class, refractive index of your material medium will be inversely proportional to wavelength of light. So when the light is traveling from glass to air, the refractive index for red color will be different from refractive index for violet color because of difference in wavelength. Whenever refractive index changing, critical angle changes. How changes? Inversely, because sin C equal to 1 by n reciprocal. That's why C varies inversely to n. It means lambda r greater than lambda v, then n r less than nv. Then automatically critical angle of incidence in glass for red color will be more than critical angle of incidence in glass for violet. Don't ask me those values. It is not the point whether we are by hearting those particular values or not. It is the point what you are learning the concept. Values no need to by heart, even these values. Just to understand, I have given an example. So here, critical angle of incidence in glass for red color will be different from critical angle of incidence in glass for violet color, and moreover it is more for red color. The reason is refractive index is less. When refractive index is less, sin C value is more, so that C value is more. That means critical angle of incidence in denser medium not only depends on pair of media, it also depends on, C also depends on, here I am writing, C also depends on wavelength of light, that is traveling from denser medium to rarer medium. So I conclude, here as a monochromatic light traveling from one medium to another medium, critical angle of incidence in denser medium depends on pair of media, whether glass to air, glass to water, or water to air, like that. But here pair of media is not getting disturbed, glass to air only. But what I have taken, one is red color, another one is violet color, another one can be blue color. Means on keeping pair of media same, if I have taken the light of different wavelengths, still I can find different values of critical angles of incidence. The reason is, for a given pair of media same. So for a given pair of media, critical angle of incidence in denser medium depends on wavelength. Here for a given wavelength, because monochromatic light unique wavelength, for a given wavelength, if the pair of media changing, critical angle changes. For the given wavelength, if the pair of media is changing, then critical angle changes. For a given pair of media, if the wavelength is changing, critical angle changes. So these two are the points that can influence the critical angle of incidence in denser medium with respect to the rarer medium. So this is what I wish to conclude in this class. It's all the basic information on total internal reflection and the connecting numerical analysis. So in the coming class, we come across the different visual effects due to total internal reflection and what area of numerical analysis can be focused in total internal reflection. We are going to discuss in the coming class. Meanwhile, take care. Wish you all the best.